Now moving to transmission of nerve impulse. We have understood how it got generated and conducted. There are two types of synapses basically. These synapses are, one is electrical, another one is chemical. What is the basic difference? Electrical means the membranes of pre and post synaptic neurons, pre and post synaptic neurons are in very close proximity that there is no cleft, are in so close proximity that there is no gap or cleft. Fine. So what happens? The electric current, it flows from one neuron to another neuron. Alright? And impulse here, impulse conduction, it's much fast, and these are rare in our system. If we talk about chemical, we say here the membranes of pre and post neurons, these are separated by a fluid filled space, and we call it synaptic cleft. Fine. So here the transmission, it involves chemicals, and that chemical moves from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, so there is a chemical, and the name of this chemical is, it's actually neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Okay, here the impulse conduction is slow, and another is, these are more common. Obviously, if these are rare, these are the common ones, the common types of synapses in our system. This is the basic difference. Now coming to their working, how these chemical synapses, how do they work? We say, in this transmission, the chemical synapse, when the terminal knob, it comes in contact with the predendritic tip, right? This axon terminal, the knob, contains a number of synaptic vesicles in it, which contains the neurotransmitter. This is the neurotransmitter which is present inside, and neurotransmitter is a chemical, acetylcholine is the name. When this impulse, it arrives at the axon terminal, ये आ गई आपकी impulse, what will happen? It stimulates the movement of these vesicles towards the membrane. So this will automatically reach near the membrane, where they fuse with the membrane, and they release this neurotransmitter into the cleft. They will move towards the membrane, and moving towards the membrane will help in the fusion of this vesicle with the membrane, and these neurotransmitters are released into the cleft. From here, these diffuse in the entire cleft and bind to the specific receptors. Where are these receptors located? These receptors are present on the postmembrane dendritic tip. Okay, these receptors will automatically pick all these neurotransmitters, and the binding stimulates the opening of the ion channels and a new action potential is generated in the postsynaptic neuron. Okay, once these are picked up here, these are supposed to enter in with the help of new ion channels that have been generated, and ultimately what will happen? These are converted to new vesicles. That means a new message has been now transmitted. This is how the postsynaptic neuron will help in the conduction, transmission of a receptor from a postdendritic nerve, that is nerve ending, to this connection. That means the nerve ending, when comes in contact with the neuron, that means the dendritic tip of the next one, through this cleft, the message is transmitted easily. Clear? Let's mark what are all these. These are the receptors. This is synaptic cleft, as we have already mentioned. This is axon terminal. Then this is synaptic vesicle. Then this is the postsynaptic membrane, and ultimately the neurotransmitter is allowed to enter. This is the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter. Clear? This is how the transmission of nerve impulse takes place. We will write down the points quickly here. We say in chemical synapse, first one is axon terminal, which is the synaptic knob, contains a number of synaptic vesicles. It has neurotransmitter. These neurotransmitters, when the impulse reaches over there at the axon terminal, stimulate the movement of this vesicle towards the membrane. Which membrane now? Towards the cleft membrane. And these diffuse, these vesicles diffuse, release neurotransmitter. This neurotransmitter, once released, these are picked up by the receptors, and ultimately binding stimulates opening of ion channels and new action potential is generated. Clear? This is the transmission of nerve impulse.